Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff Joniak, along with Tom Thayer from News Radio 105.9 WBBM, and welcome to Game Preview. It's a divisional battle up in Minnesota at US Bank Stadium. Week 5 brings the Bears and Vikings together once again here from PNC Studios. Good to have you alongside. We always love these division matchups. Boy, nothing gets the blood curdling like a division matchup. So what curdles Tom Thayer's blood about the Vikings?
You know, we've been accustomed in the last few years to have this at the last game of the year or at the end of the season. And it kind of takes on a different type of meaning this early in the season because the importance of the divisional games. The Bears have always gone up there and had some great success. And now, you know, they got a rebound from the Giants' effort and come into Minnesota as confidently as you walked into any stadium and win the game.
Bears are 2-2, Vikings 3-1. I'm glad you brought that up because usually the season's kind of wrapped up. If you're competing for a playoff spot, you're trying to be the spoiler, or, you know, you're trying to get yourself healthy and ready to go, so not everybody's playing. So this has meaning in Week 5. Vikings are coming off a trip to London. They left on a Friday, come home on a Monday. We've done the trip. We know what it does to a player. Maybe this is the game where you really focus on starting fast. You know, punch them in the mouth right away. And, you know, because maybe they're going to be a little sluggish.
Right. If they're going to be a little sluggish, then maybe do something unconventional. Bring out something out of the playbooks that you haven't used yet. See if you can target someone downfield like they did Darnell Mooney early in the game. Just try to capitalize on maybe they got a little sleep in their eyes. Still, I don't think that's going to be the case. This is a new coaching staff. They're creative up there. But you still have to try to take advantage of big play opportunities that the Bears were able to do in New York.
And they did stack a few against the New York Giants, so there were conventional plays with the run game and so forth, but I call them confidence throws by Justin Fields and Darnell Mooney making those catches, getting the tight ends involved, Wesco and Cole Kmet. Still, there's a lot of meat left on the bone. We're still in the developmental stages of getting this offense in sync and rolling in both phases, run and pass.
Yeah, you know, I just think it's about the continuous development of Justin Fields understanding the terminology of the offense and how it fits to all other 10 guys in your huddle. And then trust, Jeff, because that throw to Darnell Mooney was all about trust. I trust my accuracy for the great distances. I understand and trust that I can put it in a position that Darnell Mooney has as good as hands as anybody out there, can run underneath it, focus, and make the big catches. So that's, I think, what you need going forward. Trust what you're saying, understand what you see, and then trust all the capabilities that are incorporated in the course of a play.
So what are we looking at with the Minnesota Vikings? Ed Donatel, former Bears defensive coach, here is the defensive coordinator there, so we know what kind of system they're going to run. And there's a lot of the same pieces. Yes, there's some additions. Danielle Hunter's back as a pass rusher. Outstanding pass rusher. He's been banged up. And Zadarius Smith. There's a new Smith brothers. It was Preston and Zadarius in Green Bay. Now it's Harrison Smith at safety who finds his way into the box. He blitzes. We know his game. He's one of the premier safeties in football. And Zadarius has some big giant chip on his shoulder right now. He had a sack, banged up knee, only 27 snaps last week, but he's been very effective for them.
Yeah, you know, Ed Donatel, we kind of know a little bit about his background, just like we did the coaches from Houston a couple of weeks ago. Ed Donatel likes to run a 4-man defensive line. He likes to use the linebackers. Kendricks is one of the most intelligent reacting linebackers in the National Football League, not only the Bears division. And then you got, you know, the defensive backfield is interesting. You got two guys that are 24, then you got two guys that are 33. I would like to test the 33-year-old.
Well, that would be Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, Patrick Peterson, and one is 32, one's 33, but I just kind of, you know, I raised it up. But I think if, you know, challenge these guys to see where they're at in terms of their rebound capabilities. They're able to run with the receivers they're going to have to cover. Where is Harrison Smith at? Because he's always a super supportive safety. And so I do think that you got the two young guys, then you got the two elder statesmen. You got to test them in some way, shape, or form to see who best fits where you want to attack.
Yeah, just like head coach Matt Eberflus said the other day on the coaches show on Monday night, you know, whatever the Bears are not performing at a premium level, they're going to keep testing until you stop it. So pressure, how it all comes, whether it's with a 4-man, whether they're going to bring extras, Harrison Smith, an outstanding blitz or something to keep on defensively, and play, again, an aggressive run game. Press those holes and get north and south and get get that yardage going to help Justin set up that passing game.
But one thing I noticed, and you can't go into a panic, Ed Donatell has showed some really unconventional defenses that I haven't seen before in my life in football.
Wow.
And so if you go to the line of scrimmage and they show a certain defense, have a plan of attack for it. And don't call a timeout and kind of play into their hand. Make sure that you have a play that you think you can successfully run and run it.
I've been holding off on the offense of the Minnesota Vikings for a minute because it's a scary group, and it's Dalvin Cook on the ground and Justin Jefferson. Dynamic players, both of them. Kirk Cousins, they use the run to set up that passing game, obviously, and Dalvin's banged up with his shoulder, but he keeps on playing. He's got a harness on it, and he's been very effective. Bears have had a good success against bottling him up, and the Bears have been gouged. Let's face it. So stopping the run to earn that right to rush the passer will be critical on Sunday.
Right. Listen, you're going to have an immediate physical presence against Dalvin Cook, and they have Matheson too, who's a good running back. But you don't want Dalvin Cook to get on board and start banging some explosive runs. You need to challenge. Okay, where is his shoulder harness? Where is he wearing? And now, is he only a one-shoulder player? You still, that's the thing about football. You got to look at the deficiencies, what are presented to you. And so it is about attacking Dalvin Cook. And then you talk about the receivers, Irv Smith Jr., good tight end. They got a couple of explosive receivers, and you know what they're going to try to do after what the Bears have gone through in the last couple weeks with DB injuries.
All right, let's talk about our players to watch here today. Let's go with you. I always give you, you're the better looking of the two of us, and you're older, so you get first dibs.
I'm taller. One thing I'm going to do is, it's probably, not a high profile position to most people, but it is to me. Because when you look at the interruption on the offensive line with the injury to Cody Whitehair, I'm interested to see what Lucas Patrick does at left guard when he's got a week to prepare for it, not just one play. Because Lucas, he knows the division, he knows what you're going to face up in Minnesota and the crowd noise and everything. So on offense, I need to see how Lucas brings this offensive line together and keeps them performing at that high level. They're averaging a lot of run yards per game. Keep it up.
Yep, I'm going to go with the offensive line again. I'm going with the two tackles because that place is loud. There's no way to escape it. The horn and the fans, it's one of the best indoor stadiums in the National Football League, arguably the best. It feels like you're outdoors, even though it's indoors with all that glass, and they can make that place rock. So, Braxton Jones only had one penalty in the first 4 weeks of the season, which is amazing when you think about a rookie. They can tend to pile up some holding penalties. That has not been the case. Larry Bourne, same situation. They're not making a lot of fouls, but boy, they're going to be dealing with some aggressive pass rushers here in Danielle Hunter and Zadarius Smith. And as you said, some different looks as well from Ed Donatell. So the communication all the way from the inside out has to be on point. How about on defense?
I'm going to go back to the defensive backfield and Jaquan Brisker, because when I look at what the safety positions can do in order to help a dynamic duo of two outside wide receivers and still support against the tight end, and then be put in position at or near the line of scrimmage to help in that running game. Jaquan Brisker, every single game he gets a chance to play, he's learning something new. So don't make the game too big for you. Just play with the skill level that you're blessed with, complement the defensive huddle call, and come up here and make some of the biggest tackles of your young football life.
He's a tone setter. He's going to grow into that more and more. He gets a big hit every game. He had one on Sunday in New York as well. I'm staying in the secondary. I got to go. Who's covering Justin Jefferson? They've been lining him up all over the place. First of all, he's their number one target on third down, their number one target in the red zone. He is the number one player in the field to draw penalties. They're good at that. Cousins could do an Aaron Rodgers, throw it up there and see what you can get in a third and long situation. He gets first downs. He gets yards after the catch. He is arguably the best receiver in football when you put it all together. So if you're going to line up in the slot, is it Kyler Gordon? Is he going to be outside the numbers? Is it going to be Kendall Vildor? I mean, there's many different ways they can go here. The secondary just has to keep that ball, keep everything in front of them the best they can, and tackle this guy so he doesn't hit you on a 60, 70, 80 yarder.
Well, I don't want to see the gritty. So
he's
the
king of the gritty.
He is, but I would rather see maybe an interceptor there.
Yeah.
Take one back to the house and do a little gritty of your own.
Now, this marries with pressure, obviously, because no quarterback loves pressure, Kirk Cousins included. You can make him throw some balls that can be in the hands of an Eddie Jackson. Right. 3 interceptions in 4 weeks. That a boy, Eddie Jackson, back in business. By the way, that interception, I keep going over it in my mind. I don't know how he caught it. That is Willie Mays at the Polo Grounds for us older folks out there. As a New York Giant.
Don't put me in. I wasn't watching that game.
It's just an incredible interception. He keeps on making plays. He had 9 tackles in the game as well. We could touch on special teams for a moment because it is big. Where's the confidence level of Velus Jones Jr. when he gets back there again on punt and kickoff returns?
But his confidence better be at an all-time high going into Minnesota because of the flight of the football is going to be perfect. There's no outside elements that are going to, challenge you to follow the flight of the sunlight?
Sun.
Yeah.
You feel like you're outdoors in that joint.
But it's perfect flight.
Yeah.
I expect the kickoffs to go in the end zone by both teams, but I expect Velus Jones Jr., if he wants to have an opportunity for an explosive punt return, this is the week.
Both teams are making plays on special teams, popping the ball out. That happened with the Bears. It happened last week with Minnesota's Chris Boyd as well. So a lot to look forward to. Division matchup, you know what it's going to be. It's going to be tight to the finish. Let's hope so anyway. That's Tom Thayer. I'm Jeff Joniak. Join us on the radio, 9 a.m. pregame, noon kickoff on WBBM and 105.9 FM. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Bears preview in the books for Week 5. We'll talk to you next time.